our opponents.
Good morning, sir. It's fair to say that John McCain was considerably a more moderate candidate than the ones that Governor Romney faces now. Is there a concern that the pressure from Santorum and Gingrich might force the governor to tack so far to the right it would hurt him with moderate voters in the general election?
Well, I think you hit a reset button for the fall campaign. Everything changes. It's almost like an Etch-A-Sketch. You can kind of shake it up and we start all over again. But I will say, if you look at the exit polling data in Illinois, you'll see that Mitt Romney is broadly acceptable to most of the factions in the party. You have to do that in order to become a major party nominee. He's winning conservatives. He's winning Tea Party voters. He's winning men, women. He's winning Catholics and Protestants. There is a growing recognition within the Republican Party that Mitt Romney is going to be the nominee, and there's two reasons for that. The first is people see in him the capacity of someone who can lead on the economy. And secondly, they see someone who can defeat Barack Obama. There's a real sense that the president is vulnerable this year because of the domestic problems he faces, and Mitt Romney is the person with the experience and the qualifications to take him on.
I want to ask a quick question of Ron Brownstein. Do you think that's true, that it's an Etch-A-Sketch analogy, that, you know, listen, once the primary is done, you get to 11:44, and the deal is done, everybody forgets and you kind of reset?
You get a second look, there's no question about it, but it is not a complete, I think, blank slate. I mean, there are positions that Romney has taken on a variety of issues, particularly those, I think, relating to Hispanics, and to some extent the debate over contraception and its potential effect on college-educated women, that he is going to have to deal with going forward. But there is no doubt, Bill Clinton came out of the 1992 primary bruised and battered. He got a second look and ultimately won. You do get a second chance, but it's not as though the slate is completely blank.
Bill Clinton had a third-party candidate helping him.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask the final question of Eric before we let him go. Let's talk money. How challenging has it been to really fight this battle? And I think we've had this conversation many months ago, you know, really doing a fight on two fronts, right? You're trying to give a message against President Obama and also the other guys who are still in the race. How much of a drain has that been?
Well, look, money is an important ingredient for a winning campaign. Mitt Romney is going to be well resourced in this primary. He's going to be well resourced in the general election. I do think the super PACs and the money that they're putting into the race has had a distortive quality because what it has done is suspend the normal rules of political physics, because usually at this point a candidate who's not winning, who doesn't look as if he can get the delegates to clinch the nomination, is going to see his fundraising and support dry up. But with these super PACs, you could have one very wealthy benefactor who can keep the clock running beyond its usual time.
All right, I like that, suspending